about partitive division. So partitive division is when you start with some things, give an equal amount of things to a fixed number of groups, and count how many things end up in one or each group. So for the word problem, a school has 2,890 cookies. There are 34 classrooms. How many does each classroom get? To go back to the definition, the fixed number of groups are the 34 classrooms, and you have to count how many things end up in one group. So count how many things end up in each of those 34 classrooms, and we're going to be distributing 2,890 cookies to each of these classrooms. So partitive division, we want to distribute an equal amount of some things, the cookies, to each group or classroom evenly. And we also want to use up all the cookies in all the classrooms as much as we can. So that's because that's what partitive division is. You have a fixed number of groups and you want to give them out equally. You don't want to hand out one at a time. You want to give it out as in big of groups as you possibly can. So we set this problem up. This is how you set up the division problem. So 2,890 cookies goes in this box and then 34 groups. So we start here, and I wrote it on the side to help you along the way. So we start with the 2,890 cookies. So we start with the 2,000s place. But first, can we give away 1,000 to each group? Then we also ask, can we give away 2,000 to each group? And no, we cannot. So since we cannot give away 2,000, you can dot in a little circle. So can we give away 2,000? No. So we can erase that. So we did the 1,000s. Now we move on to the hundreds place. So can we give away 100? Can we give away 200? Can we give away 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800? Can we give away 800? No, we cannot. And this is also saying, does 34 go into 28? And no, it does not also, because 34 is too big for 28. So now we did the thousands and the hundreds. Now we're on the tens place. So we're basically asking how many tens can we give to each group? Can we give away 10? Can we give away 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90? Can we give away 90 cookies? We can try to see the closest number. So that goes into the tens place. So we do, so before it was, we had the 2,000 written here, then we had the 800, and those do not work. So now we're on the 90. So if you go right here, so we multiply 34 times 8, and that gives you 272, because that is the closest number that fits into 289. And we're seeing how many tens of the cookies can be given to each of the 34 groups. So the closest number would be 272. So we write that right here. And we subtract to find the difference. Alright, and then we bring down the 0 because we can give away tens. So now we drop down the 0 to see how many singles we can give out. And also 34 does not go into 17. So we make it a bigger number, a hundreds number. 34 times 8 right here. So since we are talking about how many tens we can give away, how many tens of cookies to each of the 34 classrooms, so we put the 8 right here, so that's like 8 times 34 is 272. So we subtracted it to find the difference and brought down the 0, so we can see how many singles we can give out. So now, right here we do 34 times 5 to see the closest number to 170. So actually it fits perfectly. 34 times 5 is 170. So we're seeing how many singles of cookies can be given to each 34 groups, because now we're in the singles place. So 34 times 5 is 170. And you get a 0, so we're done with the problem. So going back to the definition, we started with some things, the 2,890 cookies. I'm going to give an equal amount of things to a fixed number of groups. And this is the equal amount of cookies to each of the 34 groups. Okay, so we gave them out equally. First, we gave out tens of cookies, so that's like saying 8 tenths or 80 cookies to each group. And then the next step we did was the singles, so we gave away 5 cookies to each group. So there was 2 steps of handing out cookies to each group, so 80 first and then 5 first, and that gives you 85 equal amount of cookies to each classroom. So that tells you why this is partitive division, because of the definition and what we did, and why you dropped the 0, and why you get 272 and 170, and you want to distribute some things to each group equally, and we did that. So that is partitive division. Thank you.